sad thing about this is you would never find a higher class or a rich person. The most people that are gonna suffer from this are gonna be the poor people. So what I do, it's your boy the Princeman. How you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having an amazing day, amazing week. Basically, before we go right into the video, I just want to thank you guys that always come out. You guys always support me. I really do appreciate that. You guys always leave a comment. I see you guys, and I really do appreciate that. And without further ado, I'm just gonna get right into the video. 2020 started off as quite the year, right? So it started off crazy as it ended 2019. World War II event going on, Iran, America, bam, I was like, man, I don't know what was gonna even happen. And then, bam, we had Trump's impeachment. And then now we have the coronavirus. Crazy. So today's video is gonna be different from every other video I make. If you've already been on my channel, you know I'm into spoken word, poetry, rap. I do a little bit of entertainment here and there. Today we're gonna be talking about the coronavirus here in China. Maybe if you're not aware of the situation right now, maybe you're not in China, or maybe you live on the rock. But yeah, so what is the coronavirus? So real quick, we're just gonna check what Google has to say about this. So coronavirus, it says coronavirus are types of viruses that typically affect the respiratory tract of mammals, including humans. They're associated with the common cold, pneumonia, and severe acute respiratory syndrome. That is what Google has to say about that. The symptoms of most coronaviruses are similar to that of upper respiratory tract like diseases, like we have flu or like a common cold and stuff like that. So it's actually quite deadly because you can actually have this and not even know you actually have this, because you might have similar symptoms to that of any other flu-like, illnesses out there. And it's something that whereas you have symptoms like you have symptoms like runny nose, coughing, sore throat, and pneumonia to affect your lungs and stuff like that. So this is actually quite deadly because it's very hard to differentiate. So basically, I'm just gonna briefly just give a history about the coronavirus. So the first epidemic breakout of the coronavirus in China was firstly in 2002 to 2003, and they were able to control it, and the years went by and nothing of that sort was heard of anymore. And so it happened that 2020 was the year, guys. So 2020, mid-January, in the city of Wuhan, a city in the central of China. So it so happened that the first case that was heard was in a local market, in Wuhan, that was close to the seashore. So I think they said, based on what I saw in the news, was said that it was basically from animal. It was basically from animals. I don't know if it was basically, if it is specifically sea animals or tertiary animals. So it was animals to humans. That was the first case that was identified in Wuhan in China. So quickly, we're just gonna watch a short video that has more to say about this virus.
He may well look glum. This is a bad time for China. 26 deaths so far from the novel coronavirus and at least 830 infected. And an unprecedented quarantine. Wuhan and central China and nearby cities in lockdown. Not a soul to be seen.
So basically there's been like a lockdown in the whole of Wuhan, and it so happened that every resident in Wuhan has been told to stay indoors and not to go out of their houses or homes, whatever. So
Except here, like an art installation, the Dance of the Diggers, purportedly a building site for a hospital the authorities say will be ready in 6 days.
So I'm just going to put a pause there. So basically, if you don't understand, is you said a big construction site there. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a hospital. They're trying to build a hospital in 6 days. That is insane. For reals. That is basically insane. That's mad. So wow, like I feel like the government is really doing a lot about this. I don't know. Let's hear what the news has to say. Let's get back into it.
Previously identified in humans is causing alarm, though the World Health Organization says it's too early to declare an international public health emergency.
At the beginning of any outbreak, you would focus more.
So real quick, this is basically what I wanted to address. So if you don't know, 2 days back, the World Health Organization, the union, they met together and they came to a final decision that what is currently happening in China is it's too early. Can you imagine that it's too early to be considered a international public health emergency? How mad is that? I feel like, is it better if it's too late? That's when it's gonna be known as a international, or when it's too early? I feel like this should be something, whereas this early stage that we should find measures. I feel like the union should bring together every form of precaution measures at the borders and the airports and every single thing. It shouldn't be like, oh no, it's too early and stuff. Is that when it's too late, that's when something is going to be done about this. Because if you don't already know, there are already cases in Thailand, in Japan, in Singapore. Even yesterday, a case was identified in Singapore. Can you imagine? That now, okay, you know what? Let's get back into the video.
On of severe cases, and you will have more of those, and then maybe we are missing some mild cases because people will just be a little bit sick.
Today, the Lancet Medical Journal published preliminary data from Wuhan, saying the virus appears to cause similar symptoms to SARS, also a coronavirus, which killed 800 and infected 8,000 in 2002-03. The similar symptoms are fever, dry cough and shortness of breath, but not, and this is what makes it different, a runny nose, sneezing, sore throat or diarrhea.
Yeah, so as I earlier said, the symptoms are runny nose, sore throat, diarrhea. So, and if you feel some kind of way like flu-like symptoms, I feel the best advice would be to find your nearest hospital and get yourself checked and see whether or not it's just a common flu or actually you've been infected. Back into the video.
The source of the initial infection of this coronavirus is still not known, but the working theory is that it's from animals sold in the Wuhan fish market. The virus has then transferred to humans and then between people, breathed in and damaging the respiratory system with no treatment. The most important health message is wash your hands.
I've studied the early stages of a lot of pandemics.
Wuhan hospital. The authors say the vigilant control measures are warranted at this early stage, but they also say this is a snapshot of one family and they still don't know how efficiently the virus spreads. Cases have now been confirmed in Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, the US and Vietnam, but 14 suspected infections in the UK have all been negative, although officials are now trying to trace as many as 2,000 visitors who have arrived here from Wuhan. Today, the Cobra Emergency Committee met for an update, and while the risk here remains low, a public health hub is being set up at here.
So basically, so if I get what she's trying to say is, as I earlier said, this virus is a transfer from animals to humans, and from humans to humans, right? So this is very, 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 very deadly. It's a very, very deadly virus. So right now we're just gonna hear from a director currently in Wuhan, China, and let's get to hear what he has to say about the current situation here in China.
Joining me now from Nottinghamshire is Professor Steve Sang, who's the Director of the China Institute at the London University School of Oriental and African Studies. Locking down cities that are home to tens of millions of people sounds extraordinarily difficult. I mean, how easy will China find it to enforce this?
Well, they will be able to enforce the main transport links like rail link or air link, but they are not in fact closing all the roads, and therefore people are still able to travel. It's the poor who require public transport who cannot travel. The better off are still able to travel and get out of Wuhan and spread the disease if there happens to be carriers.
What do you think the impact of this will be on those cities?
Pause this video real quick. I really just want to address this, like, for Rose. Because, like, look at this. In every epidemic that I've researched about, poverty really played a big role. See, the difference in this epidemic here in China and anywhere else in the world is going to still be poverty. See, because the man lying down on the street or begging for food would have no means of transport to transport himself out of Wuhan to any other safe city in China, and that's a fact. And those that are poor and those that can afford any means of transport out of Wuhan, they're going to be the ones that are going to suffer a lot. The death toll, the difference in the death toll is going to be poverty. And that's facts, and that's real. Let's get back into the video.
Not least sort of economically. I mean, people have been looking back to the economic cost of SARS and saying it was extraordinarily high. Shutting down millions of people's homes and businesses will have a considerable impact.
It will have a considerable impact. We are looking at the start of the Chinese New Year holiday season. So in the short term, most families in China will have very well stocked refrigerators, so they will have food for the next week or so. But if the links are not being reopened, at the end of the festive season, Wuhan will run out of food and other essential supplies. Restaurants will not have food to serve their customers, and a lot of other problems will come with the...
I'm just going to pause this video again right there. So this is basically what I'm talking about. You see, check this now. Now, the city has been shut down, like completely shut down. I mean, shops, I mean, clothes shops, I mean, food shops, stores, everything, supermarkets are being closed. Like, a whole city shut down. People are being told to stay indoors, not to come outside. Now, okay, now I get the fact that it's the lunar holiday, and of course each families of the Chinese citizens might have gotten stored food for like the lunar festival and stuff like that. But what happens? What happens when months pass by and there is no means of getting food? So what happens then? So what happens when months has gone by and imagine stores being closed and stores being shut down? That means there is no means of exchange or like there's no means of exchange, and there's no car or any cargo coming in bringing food into the city or anything. Everything shut down. So what happens to the people that reside there in Wuhan? So what happened to those that can't travel out of Wuhan, and the only thing they have, or the only place they have in the whole of China, is Wuhan? So how are they gonna survive? This is really something that is really serious. Like, it's really something that we should really think about. I'm just going to continue the video. Let's hear what he has to say about this.
Cut off of the communication links. I suspect that they may well have to rethink that when that point is being reached.
Do you think people will remain compliant, or will they resist?
Well, at the moment, people in China are much more focused on the Chinese New Year festivals. Is the people, again, we are talking about tens of millions potentially, who in effect have the Chinese New Year holiday being cancelled. It's a bit like cancelling Christmas for people in this country, and they are likely to be very disappointed with what is happening and disgruntled. But the way to challenge the authority in China is very, very difficult. So I think they have at the moment not a lot of choices.
Now,
So the Lunar Festival is basically like Christmas. So imagine Christmas being cancelled. How crazy would that be? Yeah, like it's something I really can imagine how the people feel, the people of China feel. And I'm resident here in China, and I see like it's still in my city. It's something amazing to actually still see. It's like despite everything happening, the people are still celebrating. Like even you can hear if you can hear the fireworks outside right now. There are like a lot of fireworks right now going on outside. So it's like despite everything, the country still seems so. I mean, where I am right now, they still celebrate. Like it's like nothing is actually really happening, and it's something that there were a lot. I think I don't really know, but like there was supposed to be like a lot of people traveling. I think they've cancelled a lot of travels to the capital and like a lot of things. I don't really know the details and stuff like that, but like yeah. So it's like canceling Christmas. How I don't know. I can't even imagine Christmas being cancelled. But yeah. Let's get back into the video.
quite a lot has been made about how much China has been sharing scientifically in terms of information and how it compares to the past. Can the international community trust that China is sharing everything?
Well, the Chinese government is handling this with a much more open approach than they did with the SARS crisis in 2002 to 2003. On the previous occasions, they basically covered it up until they could not do so. This time they are not covering up, but the problem with the Chinese government is that they are never terribly forthcoming when it comes down to collaboration with other countries. So a bit more forthcoming cooperation will always be helpful to both sides.
Basically, if I get what he's saying is in the past in 2002 and 3 when the first epidemic broke out, it seems like China is basically not a country that really, needs other countries' help and stuff like that. But it seems like this year, 2020, they're more open and more loose about the controllable measures and stuff like that. I don't really know the details, but as he said, we're looking forward to. I mean, because like the more hands there is, the more we can do together than just being. I feel like China should be open to other countries' help in terms of this epidemic breakout. They shouldn't be much conservative about it and trying to be like, oh, we got this. I feel like it should be something where they should reach out to even the Union and any other country out there. I mean, two hands is better than one. Like for real, man. Like for real. That's what I feel. All right, so I'm done with the first video. We still have one more video to go, and the thing is, this video is really what actually made me want to do this. Really made me want to do this video because it's really the fact that you don't have this, it doesn't mean it's not real. Alright, I just want to make that clear. The fact that you feel like you're in your place, your home, or wherever you are in China, and you feel like, oh, there's nothing in my city, I'm cool and it's good. Like, it's really not good. There are a lot of people dying out there. There are a lot of people who are crying. There are a lot of people that are losing their relatives, their families, and not even knowing whether or not they're going to see them anymore. So this is not something to joke about. This is something that we should take serious, and this is something that we should all, in all possible means, in any way we can, we should pray in it. And our prayers involve China in it, involve the world in it, because a lot has been happening in the world. This year just started like in a whole different level, because we had the, Trump's impeachment, we had Nigeria's. It's a lot. It's a lot right now. It's so basically, I'm just gonna show you. So a friend of mine sent me it was basically on WeChat. I don't know if you don't know what WeChat is. WeChat is like a social networking messenger, like Facebook and yeah, Instagram and stuff like that. So basically, there was like a Chinese group chat, and this was the voice note that we got from that video. Like, she sent a message in the group chat. Let's listen. Yo, that was a lot. Yo, I think I'm getting my feelings right now, but like, really. We both heard the same thing, and a lot of people are dying, yo. And she literally said, do not trust the government. You see, this is what I was talking about, poverty. So the sad thing about this is you would never find a higher class or a rich person, even the middle class, in this kind of situation. And the most people that are going to suffer from this are going to be the poor people. Now, she said the government didn't provide there was no form of provision for even doctors. There were only 10 doctors. No provision. It's like they were being abandoned. And I don't know how this video is gonna come up, because I feel like this going out there, I don't know if YouTube is gonna take this video down or whatever that's gonna happen, but really, where I come from, we're always told to speak up if something is wrong. I feel like this is something to really, the Chinese government really needs to do something about this. I mean, they are doing a lot about this, but like, yo, this shows us that this shows us a lot that is happening in this. A lot is happening in this world. A lot is happening in this world, and this is something that is really, really sad to see. And you know, the fact that you can't even do anything about it, it kills you. So basically, I'm just gonna give my thoughts about this. Of course, we already know what the coronavirus is, and we've seen the videos, and we've been able to, if you're still here on this, you're still watching this video, thank you very much. And I feel like I'm in a foul mood right now after what I just saw, but they need your prayers. They need your support in any way, form, how. I don't mean you should start going. I don't mean you should travel to Wuhan or anything. I feel like whatever country you are right now in the world right now, whatever religion you are, I believe there is nothing that is above our Creator. Wherever you are, those people need your prayers. These people need your support. And the way it means you can support them is by praying. I don't care where you're from or what religion you are. Please pray for these people. I just think about these things and I'm like, God, I pray this doesn't really go as far as it is in my head, because I'm thinking 2-3 months, because the last epidemic lasted for 2 years, 2 good years. And this is actually, I've been in China for like 2.5 years right now, and I've never had something as this before. The only time was in Nigeria, and when we had like the Ebola virus. Aside from that, I have never had something that is really, you know, close to me. And it's something that cities, none has been heard in my city. Yeah, that's for sure. That's certain for now. Don't know about the future. So I like imagine how scary it is right now, and imagine those people who are already in it. Imagine how scary it must have been. Imagine people laying pale out dead in front of you, like, and it's like having a virus whereas you can't do anything about it. Like there was no cure. Still trying to find out the means or mode of transmission, and it's something whereas I don't know. Sometimes you just have to put yourself in people's shoe and really think. Imagine this happening to you, and this is something that we should take seriously, because I feel like a lot of people in China, especially the international students in China, I feel like a lot of us, we are not actually taking this seriously, because like nothing has really happened to us. But this is something that we should really take seriously, and it's something to be really cautious about. I've checked about means and ways to prevent, just observe. I'm just going to say observe personal hygiene. Keep yourself safe. Avoid a lot of going to the parties. You go to the parties and you jumping, you get together and stuff like that. A lot of fluids, shaking hands and stuff like that. You don't know, like, avoid any form of gathering. That's what I can say. Like, I don't know, like, avoid any form of gathering. Like, I've been at home 24 hours. I've been at home the whole day. I didn't step outside. Guys, like, this is really serious, and this is something, I don't know. I just felt like making this video. I don't know how it's gonna come across. I don't know if they're gonna take this video down, or however anyone is going to react, but I feel like this is something that needs to be said, and I feel like a lot of we the youths have been ignorant to this. Everybody's like, nah, it doesn't affect me, so nah. I think when you're actually going to believe it is when you see someone lying down pale in front of you. Oh well. I'm sorry guys, I am just in a whole different mood right now, because I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Basically I'm currently here in China. I don't know what's gonna happen in the months to come and everything. I don't know. Please pray for China. Please pray. We need your prayers. Because if this is not controlled, if this outbreak is not controlled, I can't really imagine how much of a damage, or how much of a lot of casualties. A lot. So we need your prayer, guys. Like, for real. For real. So please, so basically my advice is gonna be observe personal hygiene. Nothing comes more, nothing comes best. If you're taking a taxi, if you're going outside of your place, wear gloves. When you try to get on a taxi and you try opening the door, there's still bacteria. You don't know who might have touched or not. So you want to put on gloves, put on your mask, the surgical mask. Make sure you have your surgical mask on, not just any mask. If you're here in China, wherever you might be, in Japan, wherever, Singapore, please take note. Observe personal hygiene wherever you go. If you're outside and you shake someone, or you've touched maybe metal bars and stuff like that, please do not put your hands on your face. Do not place your hands on your face. And if you notice any flu-like symptoms, please go to the hospital. Go to your nearest hospital and get checked, because you don't want to go around giving a lot of people. Please check yourself. Observe personal hygiene. Do not be in a place where a lot of people are gathered in. Do not be in a place where there are a lot of people. You don't want to find, just You don't want to find yourself in that. And I would advise, personally, I feel going to the market buying food right now, it's really not the best idea right now. I don't know, but for me, I feel, I don't know. I don't think I'm just, after everything is happening, I don't think I'm personally going to go to the local market and buy food stuff. Because, yo, guys, for real, I don't want to be held with the virus. That's the truth. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants that. So please, they say there's a common saying, prevention is better than cure. So guys, it's better to prevent than to be caught up in the late stage, whereas you have to look for forms of treatment. So without further ado, basically I want to thank you guys for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate your love, your support. I know you guys are always comment, you always click on the like button, you always comment. I see you guys and I really, really appreciate you guys. And please take care of yourself. You're in China, please take care of yourself. Personal hygiene, observe personal hygiene. Don't go to places that are too crowded. Avoid, I don't know, for me personally, avoid buying stuff from the local market. I don't know for you, but for me, I feel that would be best. And yeah, leave a like. See, you don't even have to like this video. You don't have to comment. The only thing I ask you to do is share this video, please. Let's create a lot of awareness to a lot of people, because I feel a lot of people are still naive to the fact that this is actually something to be really, really worried about and really take into precaution. And see, yeah, guys, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate you guys, like, for real. My album is gonna be coming 2020. I've been putting in a lot of work, like, guys, for real. I'm gonna be dropping my album in April. Yeah, April. My birthday is on the 23rd of April, so yeah, that's gonna be the day, 23rd. So my album is gonna be coming out. Prior to my album, I'm just gonna be, of course, I'm not just gonna leave you guys like that. Of course, I'm gonna be making, you know, this rap, spoken words, and stuff like that. This is a platform. See, this is a platform to educate you guys. I feel like there's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot that I feel like is not being said, and I feel like this is basically a platform where I can put my thoughts out there to the world. And anybody listening, it doesn't matter whether 1 people or 100 people listening to me, it doesn't really matter, as long as I put my ideas there and I put what I think, and not just even complaining or putting out issues there, but actually giving solutions into a lot of stuff. Yeah, so thank you guys very much. I'm still saying this again. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to Prince Emprise. You all know what it is. Like, I want to hear what you have to say. Let's talk about this. Like, what are your thoughts about the epidemic in China? What are your thoughts about the coronavirus? What do you think about it? What do you think about the measures? What do you think about what the Chinese government is doing? You guys talk to me. I want to know your thoughts about this. Thank you very much for tuning in. You know what to do. It's your boy Prince, and I'm out. Peace.